Hello and welcome back to another video on Dragon Block V. It's been some months and there's been a lot of progress made. Welcome back, Aegous, the creator of Dragon Block V, if you can say hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, just go on into the deep end. What is this planet, this universe that I'm looking at? What is it about? Like, just tell me, like, what's going on here?
Well, this is Earth. It's got a slight seam on there currently because of the fact that I haven't made the planet, I haven't made the biomes loop round yet. But we can just ignore that. But,
Nice.
So it maps the planet based on the ground texture, so it doesn't look like Earth. It just looks like whatever whatever the planet looks like in terms of the dimension. So then it's mapping each of the biomes to it, and it's doing it in rough detail because it'd be way too much data to map the entire planet because it's 10,000 by 10,000 in size.
Right, so what you're saying is if I go down into the ocean, I will be in the ocean, where if I go down in that sandy area, I will be in a desert.
Yeah.
Wow, that just, again, just looking at it and how amazing it looks. And guys, you have to remember this is Minecraft. And I would just, thinking about just that this is Minecraft and you're seeing an actual space system with the planets. Can you show me you going down in one of the areas of the planet? Can you just show me going down to Earth?
Yeah, I started going round, so I might have to go round again now.
Oh, just seeing the flying in space.
I need to be on a light side so I can actually see.
I mean, just looking at it already, it looks so good. It looks like the Dragon Ball game that we all wanted as a kid to be able to fly into space. And who knew that a crazy modder on Minecraft would be the guy to make our dream Dragon Ball game.
Here we go.
Oh my god. Wow, just seeing like the flying looks a lot smoother too than last time I saw it. It does, like the model and what you've done with the model.
It wasn't smooth then. Had a little bit of a lag spike. Yeah, still got some lag spikes related to certain things that are loaded in, which are a bit intense, but yeah. So yeah, we're on the planet now. So when I press, this is just a work in progress, like a whip map. But so this shows the actual thing. We've got a few texture errors as well on it with the way it generates the map, which it just makes them look a little bit too square and a few little dodgy things on it. But at the moment, it's just all in a work in progress for that. But so I'm at this point in the map here, and that's on it. So, and you can see the skybox, which is the same as space now, like it's been fully generated. And
Yeah.
The sun's down there as well, and it's got. It's kind of hard to explain all of it, but the sun properly comes up and down based on its spinning in space, and it's all properly timed with how it spins in space. So if I left on a light area, it'll be in a light area. If it's night, it will be in a dark area. And
So, yeah.
you can see the whole of the space moving around. Like you can see the stars moving upwards as if I look at it like that.
So what you're saying is that sun that we see rotate a real sun in space that you can travel to?
Yeah, that's our sun. That's this sun.
Oh, and all those stars are suns.
Yeah, they're all stars.
That is insane. Just looking at all of that in Minecraft, just seeing that you can go and you can travel to that sun. What we're looking at right now, the big one. Can you travel to that one right now?
Yeah, I'll have to fly back into space, but yeah.
Oh my god.
And
just...
as you fly up, you transitions.
It's just amazing, just the fact that you made all the suns and all the stars real, and you can see them from where you are in space.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a thing with that disappearing, and kind of hard for me to get close to it because of the fact that it's so...
Far away.
It's so small compared to the fact that I want to teleport to it. Because the warping, oh yeah, I probably should. Before I just did that, I probably should have actually shown. But this will be a divine movement skill, I think was the name that we're thinking of. But it's Whisa's ability to warp. But it will be for ships as well. But I can do it in person at the moment because of that. So then as I hold this down, I'm traveling through it, and you can see like these are all the stars, and they're black, so you can see them against the white background for the skill. So
What I
they're the
like
stars.
about this is it's so anime. You know, you could definitely, it makes it that anime sort of feeling. The art
Yeah,
style with the lines.
yeah. That was because I was actually going off of like the show, the way Whistle's skill
Yeah.
works when he's going through. I had to make them black though, because obviously I couldn't see anything when I was traveling with it, so I made all the stars
Mhm.
black so you can actually see what you're traveling to. This is a giant lens flare because of the fact that it's a much bigger star. Like there's a, and then if you press M,
Right.
you can see this. This is a randomly generated system. Then all these planets exist here. I did have a nice system somewhere with every planet type, but I can't remember where it was. I did have it marked, but this will do. So when you open
Ah.
up this menu, you can click on the planets, and I can just teleport to it with that's a skill. That'll just be like an admin ability, but you'll actually be tracking it, and with your ship, you would be warping to it because as a person, you would never be able to fly to it. It would take too long. Well, you might be
Mhm.
able to later on, but like you would have to use this warp skill basically to be able to get to across the universe. But
Okay.
and then it travels so ridiculously fast, like I said, because of the fact that the speed I had to set it to be able to travel across the universe it's a tiny amount of distance for it to travel to a planet, because the planets aren't, even though they're ridiculously far. I'm pretty sure I've got it traveling at like 3 million blocks a second when using the warping. Like
Yeah.
that, when I was holding it down for like 10 seconds, I would have traveled like couple 100 million blocks in the universe. The universe is 2.1 billion, no, 4.2 billion in size, so 4.2 billion to each end and up and down as well. So
Wow.
that's how big it is.
And what we're
And
seeing
then,
right here, is that the dark side? Is that the lighting that we're seeing? Why it's so dark? Is it because the sun is on the other side?
yeah, because the sun's there, I can. But at the moment, I'm going to make it, because obviously shouldn't really be able to see the glare, but when it's behind the planet at the moment, but I still haven't implemented a proper detection for that yet, so you can see it at the moment behind it, but still it's quite nice. But so I'm trying to fly to it, but obviously I don't actually know how. Yeah, this is a really big one. It's 47,000 blocks, where Earth is 10,000. So this is the maximum size is 60,000 by 60,000 planet.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, 60,000. So this one's 47,000. So this is a massive planet. So it takes a little while for me to fly to it. Probably not
Wow.
gonna.
I'm just so impressed with everything. I mean, if you look around right now, so just like look around in space, you're telling me that every one of those stars that I see is a star that you can travel to.
You want me to travel to one? I just traveled to this one. This isn't Earth anymore, right?
No, I'm just amazed at looking at all those stars and just seeing it in Minecraft. It's just so shocking to see something like this in Minecraft. So, are the stars randomly generated, or are they all just like set in stone where stars are supposed to be?
They're randomly generated.
Wow, that's
There,
just incredible.
there are like set areas where they're like supposed to keep them like all in, like to be able to, because I had a limited space to work with. I had to really try and pack them in, because even though 2.1 billion is pretty big, I did want to go over it, but there's a lot of stuff in Minecraft code where it should be able to support it, but because they never really made it for it, I tried going over 2.1 billion and the game just freezes, because I'd have to completely change the game to make it work. Like I'd have to, and it wouldn't be something that's feasible. So that's the limit I'm within, but so I had to really try and pack the stars in. It's not really a universe; it's more like a tiny galaxy, but it's big enough for having 100,000 planets in it, which is more than enough, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I mean, again, like how many, planets do people need? I mean, I think that'd be enough for people. And obviously, you want people fighting over planets and
Yeah,
interacting with each other. This isn't No Man's Sky, Well, it
yeah,
kind of is looking at it. I mean,
yeah. And
um,
these all we went over this, but these all look like they're colliding with each other, but because of the fact that like even if it's 1 degree difference in terms of like the way that they're being rendered on this GUI, that still means like a couple 100,000 blocks. So they look like they're on top of each other, but if I teleport to one quick, like you can see it's over there, like they're nowhere near colliding. But it's
Hmm.
just because of the fact that I had to really shrink down space to be able to display it in a GUI where, like, if I made these accurate sizes to each other, then that planet there would be a pixel, and this planet here would be like this size, and then to make them accurate to each other, that would have to be like unclickable on the GUI.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of hard to try and display everything because of how massive everything is, which probably shouldn't have gone to those lengths, but I ended up doing it, and it is nice to see that everything's huge. Because games like No Man's Sky, you see the star, and then you see a planet, and the planet looks ginormous when you're near the star. But in actuality, like the sun compared to Earth is ginormous, and
Hmm.
everything in this is actually accurate. The sun is 109 times the diameter of Earth, and
Yeah.
so it is actually relatively accurate to each other. Like based on comparisons, it's obviously Earth is way smaller than real Earth, and the sun is way smaller than real Earth. But then I did all the distances based off 1 AU equates to the amount of time that it takes for light to travel from the sun to Earth. So then my 1 AU is the amount of distance from my Earth to my sun, which is like 3.1 million blocks or something. So everything's
Right.
done relative to real world distances based on, but like it's miniaturized,
Okay.
and it actually made things ginormous, but it's fun.
I have some questions. Firstly, about space. Will we see any galactic events, things like black holes,
Mm.
supernovas, stars blowing up?
Yeah, I do want to. For now, obviously, there's none of that stuff. But yeah, I definitely do want to do black holes and all sorts of things. Really, 'cause I'll probably I don't know a whole load about. I'm not a massive like space
Yeah.
enthusiast who knows loads about space. I'll probably have to get people which know a bit more about it than me. And it's obviously doing it to a relative. Like I like to try and include not too realistic, but the sort of physics which allow for fun things to happen. Like
Hmm.
trying to think of gameplay mechanics around like something that's fun. So then I really want space to be a horrible like, hell where you can die at any moment, like if you're really not prepared. Because when you're inside your ship, you'll have like your oxygen generators, and that'll actually create like a fake air which moves around. So it'll have to fill up your ship. So then, if you actually got a hole punctured in your ship, then that would actually cause all the air in your ship to actually fly out, and then like it's done like with actual blocks. So then, as long as your head is in an air block, these fake air blocks, then it means you can breathe. So there'll be that, and there'll be many ways to die as well. I want radiation,
Yeah.
I want heat. You'll be able to protect yourself against the heat and the cold with ki, but it'll be very draining. So if you're on a planet that was right next to a blue star, like the surface could be like 500 degrees, and you'd be draining ki ridiculously fast, and
So,
then you'd burn to death.
so would you say that space is fairly mid to late game?
It's not mid
In
to late
no.
game. You make your ship, and you can make a bog basic ship, and you probably only be traveling in a system to begin with, and maybe like get into another system if you really want to try and travel, like because it'll take a while with a basic like warp drive. It'll take quite a while, but
Yeah.
then you will be it will be early game. Ships are a very big part, but trying to go for the really dangerous planets with really rare ores on and such, yeah, then that'll be more mid game, I'd say. Early on, you're going to be making because every planet has a set like the set ores, which are really easy to get, like your gold, your nickel, your lead, and then you use those to make alloys. So in early game, you'll be getting the basic ores on any of the basic planets, and then you'll be just making alloys with that, and then that's like your first initial sort of way you start to get some good equipment by making the alloys. But then the end game stuff is like the really rare metals that you'll find,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
we've got a big list of them, but I think some of them are in here. I'm not added all of them yet. Like Mithril, there's a few extra ones. Obviously, you catch and then
Hmm.
you catch in. We've added some extra ones recently, which added quite a few more that they're not in the game yet, but we've thought up and done the textures for some much rarer ingots now. So we're going to have even more. Like these are all the ingots, and then these are all
Yeah.
the ores. I think we've got like another 6 or 7ish. I think some of them are alloys though, because alloys don't. So alloys like you make them with other metals instead of mining them. So we've got some more metals, and then that'll be used for making all sorts of stuff like the tech and you ship parts. And when I say tech, I mean cyborg, like cyborg upgrade tech. So that's that your cyborgs will be very reliant on finding all these like really good metals, and we'll have rare gems as well, which you'll need. So there'll be all sorts of like I really want to branch out into kind of a massive sort of like tech system. So you'll have people which are good at like crafting tech and other basically they'll be the scientists. So then you can have the scientist of your group who's not really focusing majorly on trying to be super strong, but they're really good at making the tech which supports the strong members and stuff like that. Like I like trying to find ways to expand and make different roles. And that's one of the things I'm focusing on. It'll be bare bones to begin with, but it'll definitely be expanded on fairly quickly after release.
So I have a few questions, but now something's just taken my interest. What happens if you throw an item into space? Like if you just press Q? Does it float or does it fall down?
Disappears currently because I forgot to add like no gravity to them, so pretty much it just goes and disappears straight away because it's fallen. And I forgot to add no gravity to the entities that you throw.
But it will float in the future, I'm guessing. It will just float away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds really cool. So the big question here is, why go this extra mile? Why add space? And why is space so important to the Dragon Ball theme mod to you? Dragon Block theme.
Yeah, all of the exploration factor of it is really fun, and also I do just really like space. I wasn't actually planning to add space originally. I was trying to make a void dimension for something, I can't remember exactly. Then I accidentally made the whole place black, and I'm pretty sure it was nighttime, so then it had a bunch of the night sky in it. And then I was like, oh, then it just suddenly hit me because it was nighttime when I did it. So then I just made the whole world black, and then I just saw like a whole black void with stars. And then I just randomly decided to start like messing around with an idea that I had for trying to make it so I could render ginormous planets and have it so like they would be visible and not super resource intensive. So then it kind of spiraled out of control, and then I had space, but then I kind of made up the reasons that space is a big part of Dragon Ball after the fact. But, but it is a big part of Dragon Ball. I did realize
it is.
I think it wouldn't really be as good of a mod without it because it adds this ginormous universe. But I'm not trying to like be a No Man's Sky and just rely fully on it, because No Man's Sky was all just like, we got this randomly generated universe, it's really great, but then you go from one planet to the other. It's not going to be a crazy like, oh my god, this is so unique, like it's been like created by some almighty creator god. Like you are going to be able to see repetition like you do with all RNG, but it's not the basis of the entire game. And it's a nice like RNG is good when it's a backdrop to handcrafted content, which is what I'm going to. I'm not trying to rely on the RNG, but there is going to be a lot of planet types and custom making the biomes and trying to make some really weird, wacky planets. Like I want to make some horrific planets that you'll land on and then want to burn with a blowtorch. So,
or giant spiders and monsters. That sounds fantastic. I mean, it just sounds so fun, and I think the idea of people being able to go into space and we were talking about this earlier, fighting in space. I mean, I don't think any other Dragon Ball mod offers fighting in space. But then you came out and went, well, we're making space, so guess what? You can relive your Dragon Ball dreams in the game, which is fighting in space. Obviously, you got Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but nothing where you can actually travel through space. So that's what makes this so exciting for me personally, is just all this content around space.
Yeah. Usually it resets velocity as well when you transfer between dimensions, but that's one of the things like I really wanted to make it so if somebody was strong enough, they could actually throw you into space. Like that's one of the fun things I wanted to do. So when it is actually a case of you will actually be able to grab someone. If you can throw them hard enough, you would be able to throw them into space. So that would be fun, being able to kill someone that way. And also you could throw them down to the planet as well and then carry on fighting them on the planet, so that sort of thing. Obviously at the moment with the NPCs, like they're not fully designed to function in space yet, and I haven't actually made a way to, like, because the NPC radish, when you place it you need a block, and there's no blocks in space. So because obviously I had to make it so I used the up and down in space, but normal vanilla Minecraft you can only go from 0 to 255, so that's the only range you can build in. So obviously there's no building in space. That's why everything that's in space is done through the ship system, which will be how the space stations are done as well, which is also planned. there'll be space stations, which will basically be like inert capital ships orbiting planets, but they'll have different systems for how you go about raiding them and stuff. So it'll be kind of like a way to, on the official server anyway, it'll be a kind of a place for people to be able to make a space station, and it'll have things in place so you'll be able to make it a sort of zone where people can coexist, because obviously in multiplayer environments people are little maniacs if you don't lock them down and make it so they can't murder each other. Otherwise a space station will just be a place where everyone, sometimes you need to stop people from doing that to allow actual fun gameplay to emerge. Obviously people will be able to raid them, but it'll be more of a system that in place to make it happen, so it's not just anarchy all the time and everyone going crazy just ruining any semblance of a society trying to happen in a game. That's the sort of fun, like the way EVE Online works. Like I really like that. It's just it's fun.
Yeah, and talking about like destroying planets and anarchy, have you coded in the ability to destroy planets at the moment?
Not yet, because I plan to do the big feature that I'm doing after which I want to code after this is the key rework, and then also I need Doodle to actually do the textures and stuff that we need for the effect, because it'll be a ginormous explosion. Of course, I want to make it look super cinematic. But yeah, that'll be a fun thing to do as well. That'll probably be soon though. That will it'll be within the key work that I'll code that probably, which is probably going to key rework and forms is what I want to code next. Like I want to finish off the forms and then do the key rework. Because originally the key was just going to be a system where it's just like locked into like wave discs and then just like normal key spheres and just a few other like barrage types. But now it's going to be like a system of actually creating them, and there'll be a lot of options to make some really weird and wacky key attacks and teach them to people. But like I really want to make a very in-depth system for it.
Well, that sounds really fun. I can't wait for us to be able to look through the key and look through that system. Can you show me a little bit about the spaceships? Show me what's changed. What's it like driving in a spaceship, going into space, going to planets? I think this is something that we all are interested to see because it's been such a long time.
Yeah, I made this quick move. Yeah, that's it's because I'm moving. I can move very fast in space.
Going third person and just you going inside and just like looking out into space from inside and moving in it.
I mean, yeah, because it transitions when I go into it, but, so then it transitions. But I've still got the whole rotatey thing, because when you go in, Minecraft likes to try and quickly rotate your way. But and where's the planet gone? Oopsie daisy. Just ignore that little bit. Yeah, it keeps on teleporting inside because it is a separate instance, but yeah, I think it's actually put me in a little different area right now. That's one of the problems. Because one of the issues, because obviously it's actually replicated. Like when you go inside, it's an entity on the outside. That's one of the systems I needed to do to make it so it was like open to everything, compatible with everything. So it's a case of, because trying to make it so it traps you on an entity, like in a big multiplayer environment, that would be very wonky. Trying to track, it would look really laggy, and it would just be really, it wouldn't really work, because the scope of DBV is mainly for an official server. So the official server I want the official server. It's going to start out with like a 200 player cap, but I want to expand it to like a multi-server setup, and definitely go for like expanding it in future, based on like how things go and what happens. I don't want to just overly bloat it to a massive infrastructure and cause more problems in the beginning than I can handle. So I want to fix all the bugs while it's in a low scope. But yeah, so it's all designed around a big multiplayer environment, and I determined that the best system for that was an instant setup for your ship, so you could properly be inside of it while and not have any sort of like, so you could be doing anything in here, or you can be training while you'd be able to set the autopilot, travel, and you'd be able to just go out and just do whatever the hell you like. And this is just a little terrible ship that I made. But
so you can train with your friend while you're traveling to Mars. That's really cool. Can you show us flying around in the ship, just in space, just you using the actual ship?
So it's a little bit of a jitter sometimes.
It's a whole new game. Like a whole new game.
can't see yourself yet, but that'll be a thing at some point. Just
I mean, even if you can't, I mean, the fact that you can drive a spaceship in Minecraft, you know, it reminds me of the Archimedes mod, but times by like 10, because space travel, you know? It's I'm just amazed by it. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of work that and effort that you put into this mod. I just want to see you just fly around in that spaceship and just show us, like, what's it really like traveling around when you're driving the ship. Is it quite slow, or I guess you'd use the warp, don't you?
Yeah, you have to use the warp for me. I can't actually. Well, actually, I can warp over there, but yeah, it's got a very high FOV when I'm in here, so it's I quite like the effect though. Like it's looks like you're like really warping space around you.
Yeah, I like it. I really like it.
I'm really far away from that right now. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. I'm back here. I don't know where this was, but it was the only marker I had. Because when you actually put down a marker, when you get far enough away, like it looks like it says desert because that's the type. But a bit sideways there, a bit skewy. But and then as you get away, then it just turns into one. Like if you had like a bunch there, so it doesn't get super cluttered. It just limits it to just the star now. So then you can find your way back, and you'll be able to name them later on. Because obviously you want to remember where you've been and where you got to go and stuff. So like where your home is, if for example. So then you probably have to change the color on the marker too. This is potentially just a placeholder marker. Ooh, that's a nice star. I really like the blue stars, but
yeah, I like them too.
I want to live around them. Well, I would want to live around a giant blue one, but probably far, far away because like these, I haven't messed. I'm going to change it a little bit because currently I'm going to change. I want to add a few more classes, and then I want to make it so a little system where it detects the heat that it would have based on the star and based on like, at different distances. So then that'll deter. Because currently the way it is, it's like it's just a set thing, but it's just a little change. So then if you were here, then that would be well, it already is a hot planet, but then it would be a roasting hot planet, and then to get a lush planet, you would have to be really far out on a really big blue star because it'd be really hot. So you'd have to be like a really far out planet to get it. And then obviously, like if you were out on one of these far planets, you were on that planet, then it would look smaller in the sky. And if you're really up close, it looks ginormous in the sky.
And will your survivability also base a little bit on your ki? So obviously, the stronger you are, you'll be able to live near a colder place or a hotter place. Will it be based around your ki level, or
it'll be entirely based around that because obviously Goku flies into lava and stuff when he's fighting, and it's obviously it's ki protecting him from that, so it'll be draining the ki based on it, and there'll be skills to be able to take the heat better, and probably training options to be able to make yourself be able to take heat more without would drain less ki when you're in a really hot environment. So margins obviously have a big advantage on that because they have no they don't care about the heat or the cold. So margins would be able to just go straight to a ginormous O-class bloody super giant. Well, not a super giant, but they'll be able to go to like a really ginormous blue star and just sit on the closest planet to it and just be completely fine. And then anybody else that tries to fight them there would get completely annihilated by the heat very, very fast. I'll probably add a system so if you go underground as well, like I like to add those weird, like those little details because I'd love to live on a super hot. I like living on super. I always really like things where it's uninhabitable, like really uninhabitable things, and trying to make it work. So I'd probably want to make it so then if you go deep underground, like say you find a really hot planet and you base on it like super deep underground, so then you'd be able to handle it because it would get cooler as you go down, and obviously that wouldn't be the case of well, I mean it could be the case with cold planets, I guess, based on I might make certain planet types where they've got like I don't know, some sort of well, as you get lower down, they could be hotter as you get lower down. I don't know the exact because I don't understand all that stuff. But I'll ask people. I get ideas from people that know stuff about space more than I do. Like some of my moderators and some people that I speak to and stuff. I've got quite a bit of info from people about space because I don't know a load about it.
Well, I do believe that the core is the hottest, at least for Earth. So the deeper you go down, the hotter it becomes. Yeah. So, and I guess obviously if you're in a colder planet, like going deeper down, it'll go warmer maybe, and then like when
obviously when it comes to a really hot planet, if the surface is 500 degrees, then going down would be the solution, I'd assume. I'm kind of thinking of Riddick, where in the Riddick movies, where they've got that super horrible prison on a super hot planet, and the surface is horrible, and they have to live underground. That's the sort of thing I'd like. I'd like to make a little prison on a horrible hot planet where, like with 3 suns, for example, and it never goes nighttime because of it. Because I do plan to have like currently I don't have, like, because I have to make it for Namek, because Namek has 3 stars. So there'll be some horrible systems with 3 stars where they'd be hot as hell, and I could make a nice little prison planet to put people in. It'd be great.
So survival will be a big part of this mod as well. Just there will be increase to survival. Well, that just sounds, you know, so fun.
Yeah,
and again,
we'll
just
have the cold, the hot, the radiation, the oxygen when you're in space. Obviously, at the moment, I can just I haven't set up, so because obviously I haven't got the model. We haven't done the model yet for the breather on your face. But as soon as I do the breather, it's not really a majorly hard system either. But then we'll add the oxygen. Like there's a lot of the little things I'm gonna be adding. Like I like to probably like a big thing where I'll add a bunch of little things. The little leftover things at some point. Things which are quick.
Yeah. Okay, so we know that you've changed the model a little bit, the textures. Can you fly out and just show me some of like the charges and like just sort of like things where like your body changes, you know, the animations? And because last time we saw it, the body was pixelated. Now it's very high definition. And I mean, if you need to go to a planet, you can. If you want to go to like Earth or desert planet or whatever.
I like that lush one. That's still staying there. I forgot about that. Just ignore that. Yeah, I forgot about that because they just stay with you. Those because it's a custom entity which doesn't unload. That's one because I had to make a whole custom entity system for the ship.
Yeah.
Because Minecraft's system, like sometimes it has it where the server loads in the entity, but the client doesn't. So then they're just invisible. And obviously, when it's a case of traveling between dimensions so much with all my stuff, it was just broken to all high hell. So I had to make them different, a separate. I had to make them a separate entity. Like it's an entirely custom entity system where they never unload. They will unload, but you can only have a certain amount out at a time. So obviously, as I'm falling, you can see that it's changing back to, and then this. Probably should have gone to one of the cool planets. Actually, they didn't look Earth-like, really, shouldn't they?
Well, I mean, if you want to, I mean, sure. I mean,
yeah,
I think just seeing like the difference between the planets already is a good sign of what we're gonna really see. Is we're gonna see some really unique-looking planets, and again,
there's only 3 types at the moment because I'm working on all the biomes. It's a case of it's not hard work, but it's like a lot of work and it's a lot of creativity and being all like, oh, this looks cool. So obviously I didn't have time for doing all that while I was trying to code all these horrible systems. But afterwards, I do really want to go ham with with all the weird wacky biomes, like because the Minecraft sort of like code for world gen is quite lazy in a lot of cases and kind of all looks the same. But I want to do some pretty fun, weird systems.
And I think just giving people the option to really, you know, use the combat in different environments will be probably the best part of it. Is that sometimes you get a little bit bored of fighting just on grass. Maybe you want to go to Namek or Mars, or maybe you want to fight in space. And I feel that's what people are going to appreciate the most, is that they can use these environments to reenact their battles. So these are the animations that we're going to be seeing in the game. Yeah, go ahead, show them.
Just jump to when I've actually got all of these, so then you can just jump to it.
Yes. So now we get to see what you can do with the forms, which I think we're really excited on seeing because it's been such a.
Oh, sorry.
I like the grunting. Yeah, it's nice. No, it's cool.
So I've got looking like that and such. So then it's like it's obviously a 2D aura because at the end of the day, like they're 2D in the game and they're like that's what they look like. And trying to replicate them in like a thing with 3D spinning planes was Like they originally was like that, but at the end, like it was going to be like that just for the like Super Saiyan forms because it was more violent. We didn't really think we could actually get it looking right for this system because
Yeah.
that's what all the other stuff is used for those. But now, and then I added all the effects, and the hair color is supposed to be a bit more shiny, but I've been messing with lighting quite a lot because of that star there. Because oops, that's the wrong button.
Well, I think it
does do the light based on there, like there are shadows and such. Like that's how it works. So I've messed with the lighting quite a bit.
With the 2D, I definitely do feel that it's easier to look on the eyes than if you did do models or something. I think it'd be very all over the place, where with this, you got your center point, which is your character. Also, I like how the muscles get bigger here. He's more buff.
Yeah, he's a chunky boy.
Yeah, he's got those meaty gammon thighs.
Yeah, he gets even chunkier, I think, if I use the other one. So it depends on, like, obviously how chunky your character is as well. I need to mess with it a bit still. But obviously he's getting really big. But they are super chunky in the actual show and look super out of proportion. So I kind of, like, I was trying to make it normal.
I like it.
The only way you can make it look normal is by making them taller. But they don't get taller. They just get wider. So I just had to do that. And
I think that looks great. Like, personally, I feel like that you don't need to change anything with that. I think that's how they should look. They should look, you know, stubby and broad, and yeah, I think that looks really cool. Obviously, you're looking down at him, so he's gonna look shorter anyway.
I feel like I don't know where the noise is for it, actually. It's supposed to be doing the noise, but it's not actually playing. I don't know if I accidentally turned it down or something. It might be in friendly creatures or something. I'll just turn it all up instead. No, I guess I've I guess I've somehow accidentally disabled that sound. But yeah, so then like you do have a Super Saiyan 3, but the hair is gonna get an edit, I reckon. Actually, should have been talking through that.
Can you just show me, like, some of the punching in Super Saiyan 3? Just, like, you know, going to the combat, and punch around.
It's still the same, like...
I know, but just seeing it with Super Saiyan 3 is cool. And I'm pretty sure people just want to see what it's going to look like when you're fighting in Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, this hair is going to get an update and such, obviously. But, I mean, it gives enough of a vibe, obviously, of what it is. But it is going to have more... It's going to have some updates when I do some of the hair rework stuff as well. It's not a massive, complete overhaul. It's just a rework, a little bit of a rework in that case. Obviously, then you get the big, lightning and everything when you see it, and yeah, and obviously it's just a normal combat.
Now, guys, to finish this off, we're just going to see some scenes of some unedited combat. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and here we go.